So before I start this video, I actually want to say a couple of things. One, I tried to record this video and I completed it fully, and then I looked down at my mic and I was like, what's that flashing light? And then I twigged on and realised, well, bollocks, I'd had my microphone muted for the entire video, so that's taken the wind out of my whole video. But anyway, so we'll start again. So hello, everybody. Now, the reason why I'm not using my green screen and things like that is because I wanted to kind of reenact another video that I made a couple of months ago. This type of video on my channel is the biggest video that has ever kind of been achieved in views wise. It's nearly hitting 20,000 views now, which is unbelievable. And I thought, well, if people obviously want to see that kind of content, why not do it again? And plus, it's views, isn't it? So obviously I'm going to do it. I'm not just going to let views go down the plug hole. That's if this video is as big as the other one. In my last video that I made of this type, I was talking about choosing a new main. Now, I'm going to have to be honest with you guys. I will never choose a new proper main because the Shaman is my main. It's the first character I ever made. He is literally me. Not me, but he is the character that I associate with WoW. However, I did pick a new alt main, the kind of main once I'd finished everything with my Shaman, the one that I played the most, and that was my Warrior. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through every single character. I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of what I really kind of liked about them, and I'm kind of getting to the point now where if you look on my character roster, I've nearly got every single class up to 120. I haven't got the Mage, Warlock, Hunter, or Rogue, but everything else is up there. The Mage is nearly there. The Warlock I've started, and the Hunter, I'm having a go at it. I really want to like it, but we'll get back to that. So let's start with the Warrior. In the last video that I did in this kind of style, the Warrior was the one which I was preparing to level up, and I finally got him there. He's 120. I'm really enjoying him. Now, whilst I was leveling, I was playing in tank spec, which if you have the opportunity to play tank or healer while leveling up and doing dungeons, do it, because that's where you're going to get your most XP to a certain point. DPS is quite hard because it takes about 20 minutes on average to get into a dungeon, I'd say, but healers and tanks probably 5 to 10 minutes, probably, maybe even soon, or maybe even shorter than that, depending on what role you're doing and what role they need. So I hit 110, and I thought dungeons weren't going to do it. Dungeons weren't going to level me up from 110 to 120. So I was like, okay, let's pick the DPS spec that I want to play. So I decided I wanted to play Fury because Fury is so. You've got two-handed weapons. You're going around smashing stuff, whether that's in PvP, whether that's PvE. You just feel unbelievably powerful. And I was really enjoying it. And then I was playing with a friend who was playing Arms, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to play Arms because Arms seems much more powerful. It's only recently that I've come back to Fury because I don't know if you can see, but I have spent the last 3 to 4 weeks farming for the hidden artifact appearance for the Fury artifact weapons, and man, I wanted them so much. I needed to get the reputation, I needed to get the quests done, and I did it finally, and I really, really like it. One thing that you will see with my characters is transmog is quite important to me. I like collecting the sets. I like collecting different looks because yes, okay, I could be spending time making my characters a little bit more powerful and things like that, but it's about what you enjoy in the game, and there are a few that I focused on each patch. So that's the Warrior. Again, it's probably going to be the one that I'm going to go through with DPS. The others I don't really like DPSing with, but maybe the Mage. The Mage is one that I'm really taking a look at. Because I'm enjoying Arcane. That's what I've done through leveling up. So let's go on to my Shaman. So the Shaman is one that I will take through the content first. The Shaman is my main. I main Restoration. The last time I made this video, I was doing Elemental, but I decided to go Enhancement. Now, unfortunately, if you play Shamans, or you may have heard, Enhancement has been really neglected this expansion, and I'm hoping in the next expansion they do some tweaks on it to make it not overly powerful like it was in Legion, but just put it kind of on the same level as Elemental. I think it really deserves to be there, and with Thrall kind of coming back in, it'd be nice to see how they link it in. So hopefully elemental shamans not are going to take kind of a step back and let enhancement shine a little bit. But obviously I main restoration, whether that's through dungeons. I have been focusing more on dungeons this patch rather than the raid. So in 8.1, when I last spoke to you, I was going through the Battle of Desire Lore and it was really fun, and we were getting ready for the Eternal Palace. Now, I have done the Eternal Palace, but I don't know, I didn't like it. It was strange, and even now when I step back into a raid, it's very strange from doing Mythic Plus Dungeons. And Mythic Plus Dungeons is a little bit more, oh my god, we're about to beat the timer, or oh my god, like, I've had it where we're like 5 seconds off the timer, we've finally done it, and it's just like, wow, I've really enjoyed it. So, we haven't got any at the moment. We haven't got any new dungeons in 8.3. Now, I am recording this the day that BlizzCon starts. So if there is a dungeon and they've announced a secret dungeon, then well, never mind. But we haven't got any new dungeons. But we have got the new raid. So this is the character that I will be trying to get my head of the curve in, trying to get my cutting edge in. And if I do, great. That's the character that I will try and do it, and then I will move on to my warrior. So that's my shaman. Moving on to the Paladin. Now, since the last time I spoke to you guys, I think, if I remember correctly, I had race change. I had faction changed it into alliance, because Battle for Azeroth has been very divided in the storylines, especially the very first half. You had different leveling processes, you had different leveling zones, things like that. So I wanted to experience the entire expansion and not just the Horde side of it, because as you can see, I have a lot more Horde characters at max level than I do alliance characters, and that's why I'm trying to level up some of the others. So I decided a couple of weeks ago, actually, the dwarf. I had a dwarven mage, and it was cool. I like dwarves in that sense. And I was looking at some of the transmogs, and I thought to myself, you know what? I think it would look good as a human. And I know it's very stereotypical to play a human for a paladin, but I kind of really enjoyed like the Warfront set and how I've created him with I normally have the Ashbringer. I think the Ashbringer is just a really cool paladin weapon. It is the paladin weapon. So unfortunately I don't have it on here because when I logged out I must have been Holy Spec. I took a step back with the Paladin when I kind of started really playing the Warrior, but I still enjoy it, and if you've seen in previous videos, especially with my PvP ones, I've been working with the Glimmer of Light trait. However, we do know for an absolute fact now that in 8.3 the Glimmer of Light trait is being nerfed to only 8 players, so you can't spam it on lots and lots of different players. So the Paladin, I don't know, the Paladin's probably going to be one that is going to take an even bigger step back. Before the new expansion, which we will find out what the next expansion is today. Now, depending on what that is, I think, apart from my shaman, I will be kind of really saying, look, these are the characters that I'm going to be maining in the next expansion. The other ones I'm just going to leave behind, and when the catch-up mechanics come along, that's when I'll play them. So the monk. The monk is one which I started in Battle for Azeroth. I did use a boost on it, actually, to 110, and you know, I wish I hadn't, and that's not because I don't enjoy the monk. I like the monk. I had a monk at 70 on my European account, and then I decided to stop playing my European account, and I just took a massive break from WoW, and then I came back and made the American account and didn't have it. Anyway, the reason why I wish I hadn't used the boost is because the monk is a little bit complicated. I haven't even tried tanking yet, but DPS is fun. It outputs a decent amount of DPS, and the healing is great for kind of all aspects of the game. However, I don't know. I can't get into it. I need that kind of, why do I want to play this character? Yes, it's powerful, but yeah, I don't know. The monk is, again, probably one that I will play when the catch-up mechanics come along, but it's probably going to be one I'm not going to be playing in the next patch unless they change something massively, which they have done. They have changed some things with Mistweaving monks, so I may take another look at it, but at this very moment in time, the monk is probably going to be one that, unfortunately, I'm just going to leave behind. So the Druid. The Druid was the third character that I leveled up in, and it was at the start of Battle for Azeroth, or when the pre-patch for Battles for Azeroth came out, or when it was released, or whenever. When the High Mountain Tauren were able to be played, that's when I made a Druid. Now, in season 2, when I did all the PvP arenas for the mount, druids really annoyed me in the fact that they could heal and then change into travel form, and then they could just constantly heal. They were really, really powerful. And it really kind of made me think, you know what, I want to play the druid. And then time kind of went on, and I haven't played it. I haven't played it because I just don't really like the style of healing that druids do. Like, the hot healing isn't really impressive to me. I don't find it interesting. So again, unless they bring something out with the new expansion that makes druids cool again, and maybe if they like boost feral, and feral become, rather than balance being over fucking powered, either this is it. If they decide to make either Guardian or Feral really good, I will either play Feral for DPS or I will go Guardian, because I'm thinking of creating a tank character. And I've got all the tanks now so far, unless they announce some new class today. Hopefully they don't, because I kind of want to play the Druid tank. I think it's quite interesting. But that will be another video on choosing what character to tank and things like that. Now, talking about tanks, let's move on to the Death Knight. So the Death Knight is one which I don't know why I made him. I do know why I made him. I know exactly why I made him. I wanted the artifact weapons, kind of Frostmourne, like 2 Frostmourns or 2 shards of Frostmourne. The Blades of the Fallen Prince, I think it's called. It's like, that's fucking awesome. I mean, Christ, like, you've got the Doomhammer of the Shaman, you've got the Ashbringer of what's it called? Of Tyrion with the Paladin, and then you've got kind of Frostmourne from the Death Knight. Like, come on, the only one we miss out on is Gorehowl. Gorehowl, I think it's called, from the Warrior. Like, that would have just been boom, done. Anyway, the Death Knight is one which I haven't really decided what spec I want to play. Not spec as in DPS or tank, obviously. The tank, I don't know, I like it and I've played it a few times, but I don't find it as interesting as the other tanks, and I find it's not complicated, it's very different in the fact that it doesn't have the same like gather up mechanics or the movement. Like, movability is probably the worst thing. It's the worst tank for movability, or mobility, whatever. Anyway, and I tried Unholy because Unholy was really powerful this expansion, and Frost had taken a hit since Legion, but I don't like it. Like, Frost is just, I like Frost. Frost is probably my favorite spec. So even though it's not great, I still play it because I find it interesting. Now, this is what I'm thinking. There are a couple of things that could happen tonight. Death Knights could get another spec, a fire spec, which I would definitely check out. However, if the next expansion is Scourge based, like people are saying it is, the Death Knight is probably going to be played a lot by other players. So I've got a choice. Do I want to play a Death Knight, which would be cool, or do I not? There are a couple of things that are going to make me play the Death Knight. One, if they bring out new races that can be Death Knights, I'll probably make it into a panda. I know that sounds stupid, but I want to make a panda. I miss my panda priest, but not as a priest, so I think a Death Knight would be cooler. That would be one reason. That would be one thing, that if they allow other races to be Death Knights, which it looks like they can be. And the other thing is, if the storyline allows you to be a different kind of Death Knight and really involves them, I want to experience that. I want to be part of the game. I want to be lore-wise, and I like lore. I wouldn't call myself a lore master because I don't know like all the details, but I enjoy learning about it, and I enjoy storylines and things like that, and I think the Death Knight would be a great one to, I don't want to say role play on because it's not role playing, but really kind of immerse yourself in the story. That's the word I'm working. I want to immerse myself in the story. So yeah, the Death Knight is probably going to be one I play if it is a Scourge-based expansion. But if it's Void and stuff, well, funny you'd say that, because we're moving on to the next character that I will play. If the next expansion is Void, I will be playing my Priest, and it will be my second ult. The Paladin, it probably would be, but the Priest I absolutely love. I found it really hard to get into this, to Discipline, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to leave it. I've gone into Holy, and Holy is kind of like the bog standard healer when you think of all MMOs, like Holy Priest. but I enjoy it so much. And when I go into Shadow, it's like white and black or black and white. It's so different, and it's so immersive, and I just enjoy it so much. Now, as you can see from my last my last video, it's not a panda anymore. She's a blood elf, and I've got the set from Antorus, the Burning Throne, and I went with the purple weapon because I wanted that contrast of color. But not just that, it just looks like, yes, you've got this holy warrior, but could she be corrupted? I don't know, it's strange. But yes, it's the PvP weapon. It's the first one that you unlock, which I'm so glad it was purple. So yes, the priest will be one I definitely will play if it is a void themed expansion. Then comes the Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter is, it's cool. Not going to play it. I really don't like the Demon Hunter. It's cool to have 120 for farming gold and farming materials, but I don't enjoy it. Okay, it's fun, jumping around, turning into demons, flying, gliding, throwing a glaive back, doing some parkour shit, but I don't enjoy it. It's not fun unless they really kind of make something out of the new expansion with it. The Demon Hunter was a Legion class. To me, it's not enjoyable anymore. Not like it was in Legion. So
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So I will just leave it. And now on to the last one, the Mage. So as I mentioned, I am going to try and get the Mage up to 120 in the next couple of weeks, and definitely before 8.3, unless they decide like 8.3 is going to be released at the end of BlizzCon. Could do it, but no, I probably will do it. And even just thinking about the Mage is so fun, magic, and like it's pure magic and just spell casting and just cool stuff. And even just talking about it, I'm like, you know what? As soon as I finish recording this video, I'm not even going to edit this video. I'm going to go and play my Mage. I'm going to get to him 110, then get bored of him, then go and edit the video. The Mage is just awesome. I really, really enjoy the Mage. You make your own food. You can portal everywhere. There's no need of running around everywhere. I really enjoy it, and it's really, really fun to play, and the lore behind it's cool. The Order Hall at the moment that I'm in, because of my level, is amazing. It may change when I hit 110 and artifact traits come along, and the Azerite traits come along and things like that. Will I do him into PvP? I think if I was going to go PvP, I wouldn't go Arcane. I think I'll go Frost. But we'll see what they do in the new expansion. But the Mage is, again, probably going to be the one that I play the most. So once I get him to 120, because of my OCD, I can't move him up the roster. But if he was 120, he would be probably third. Yes, he'd probably be third. So I'm going to do some mixing around of my characters. Will I ever race change him? Depends what races they can come out. I was thinking about making him Nightborn, but it would be a faction change. But I want to get him to 120 before I even think about doing that. And if they bring out some cool new allied races with the new expansion, which they may release today, we'll consider it. But we'll have to have a look. So let me know what you guys are going to be playing 8.3, because I'm actually quite interested. And let me know what specs you're going to be playing. But also, in the new expansion, if they release it today and you're watching this video after you've seen that, let me know what character or class you're probably going to be maining in that expansion and why. Oh, and if you've got any tips on some of my transmogs, please let me know, because I really do enjoy doing my transmogs, or if there's any sets you think I've missed out. The Druid I must have not done, but he looks all right. So let me know. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this video kind of reaches the same amount of people that it did with 8.2 video. But if it doesn't, well, never mind. I've enjoyed doing it. I like talking about my classes. I like talking about my characters. And if I don't speak to you before, I will see you probably after BlizzCon. And if you do... if I do upload this video before BlizzCon starts, come and watch me on Twitch, because I will be playing through my Mage and watching BlizzCon at the same time. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about what character you want to play, because I play so many of them, I know the basics of all of them. If you can't decide what character to play, ask me in the description, ask me in the comments below, and I will get back to you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.